Next up is the STEPLE analysis. The STEPLE analysis is an assessment of macro-environmental factors that are relevant to the company and its position in the marketplace. To clarify, the macro-environmental factors are large-scale factors that influence the company from the outside, meaning they are external as opposed to internal.
First, we must clarify what these general factors mean. Sociocultural can relate to many things, but in general, it relates to societal and cultural trends that are influencing the market. Sociocultural factors are things such as demographics and societal views. It is very generic, but it is easier clarified when examined in practice. Technological is relating to trends in the technological landscape. This can relate to anything from industrial production and manufacturing to the technological capabilities of the average consumer and anywhere in between. In today's market landscape, technology is an ever-changing and vast field. Political and legal is fairly self-explanatory, but relates to any kind of political and legal changes. Typically, these factors change with major court case rulings as well as elections of new politicians that create new legislation. Lastly, environmental is self-explanatory, but can be summed up by the trends relating to anything that relates to the environment as a whole. Major topics relate to pollution, energy reduction, and carbon emissions. Now that our general factors have been defined, we can begin our analysis of factors we found that relate to each of our major categories. First is sociocultural. A major trend we identified dealt with the use of movie theaters in the age of renting and digital streaming. In the past, going to the movies was thought to be one of the most common types of dates, especially with the younger crowd. Today, the cinema is still part of dates for millennials, but they seem to be leaving the theater behind. Data shows that of recent, millennials are moving towards nights in rather than nights out, and they are watching their entertainment through means such as movie rentals or streaming providers. Anything to explain a reason or reasons for this would be speculative, but our best guess could be explained by a couple of reasons. First, the movies could be becoming too expensive to justify one date for millennials, and therefore offering a cheaper alternative to those who still love movies. Or, millennials prefer their privacy and view staying in as a more intimate experience for a date. The digital age has taken the entertainment industry by storm and has in fact impacted societal norms by revealing millennials are staying in rather than going out. Next are the technological trends impacting the global industry. There are a few trends identified in this category that are very relevant to the global industry. First relates to digital streaming and the capabilities needed for digital streaming. To be able to stream digital content, the use of internet, whether wireless or wired, is needed, as well as a device that is capable of viewing the digital entertainment. This can be taken for granted by the vast ability to connect to the internet, as well as the majority of people having a device that is able to stream, but there are still those who do not have access to either of these commodities. Second is an expansion upon our first trend, but we have identified that cell phone carriers now have the ability to provide wireless internet for almost all mobile devices, and at a very reasonable cost. Cell phone technology has evolved greatly in a very short amount of time, and the use of wireless internet on cell phones has evolved at an even greater pace. Even though it continues to improve, internet connection on cell phones is virtually seamless. Cell phone technology is also affordable as compared to when the technology was first available only a few years ago. Finally, the last major trend we identified as relating to technology deals with the use of kiosk technology as a form of service. Kiosk technology has become increasingly popular, and mainly because it reduces major costs. A kiosk allows for a business to provide service to customers without the use of an employee or even a brick-and-mortar store. This concept is obviously a major cost-saving aspect, and while some people prefer face-to-face interaction, culture now has moved into a text and email means of communication, and people in general are more comfortable interacting with technology than person to person. It is certainly a double-edged sword, because a great customer experience cannot be provided by a kiosk, but at the same time, it is harder to provide a poor customer experience by the use of a kiosk instead of a person. Moving into the economic portion, there are three relevant trends we have identified in this category. First, our research revealed sources that state technology companies have the greatest potential for improvement in the coming future, specifically relating to financial growth. As technology improves and its capabilities expand, it makes very clear sense that with this trend comes an upward slope relating to the growth of financials with the overall improvement of technology. As for that, this could spell a trend of investors leaning more towards investing in tech companies to seek a great return on investment. Second, an economic factor relating to the kiosk industry deals with the taxes of the jurisdiction that the kiosk is in. For example, if a kiosk is located in a city and state that collects sales tax, it means the kiosk must factor in the sales tax to its final price before providing the service, meaning that a kiosk is not exempt to any special treatment from governing tax bodies. Lastly, in general, the biggest and most successful companies are moving from a national market to a global market, which encompasses trading with other countries as well as selling their product or services in different countries, not just their country of origin. With the growth comes increased competition, but also increased reward for those who succeed in the global market. As for the political legal category, a noticeable trend is the use of lawsuits to defer those who infringe upon copyrights and patents. Specifically, within the entertainment industry, streamers and rental services have been in a lot of hot water for infringing on their rights with entertainment producers, pertaining to the rights of movies and their ability to stream. Movie producers have undergone many legal battles with streamers and rental companies because they felt that by streaming and renting, they were losing out on revenue from sales of DVDs of their movie. Because of this, each company must be granted the right of when they are able to stream the movie by the producer of the film, giving the producer a chance to earn revenue from its exclusive sales of DVDs. The last category at hand is the environmental category. This category contains the most obvious of trends to conclude, but nonetheless, our research has identified that people in fact are concerned about the environment in reducing waste, energy, emissions, and pollution. These are all very general statements, but it could be generalized to say that all people care about the environment. It is just a matter to which degree they care. By using the knowledge, a company can target consumers by producing or using materials that are healthy and good for the environment, and even certain people may support eco-friendly companies more than ones that are not, even if the prices to support a more eco-friendly company are more expensive. To conclude, our research has revealed many sources that identify major factors that affect the industry that our company resides in. These factors will be carried forward and used in our external factor evaluation as either opportunities or threats.